200 million. That's how many of us find ourselves tapping our way over to a business's profile on the gram every single day. And if we are spending just under about a half hour on the app every single day, most studies would show it's around 28 minutes, is your creative small business's profile one of the ones that they are checking out and hanging out on? In this video, I am walking you through 3 steps that you can apply to write the perfect Instagram bio, or just roll a fresh coat of paint over the bio that you're using now if it's been a minute. Hit like if that sounds like a plan, and stay tuned to the end because I'm going to take you through some of my best call to action tips, the one thing I always say about the whole link in bio thing, and I'm going to load you up with 2 bonus takeaways that I learned this year on Instagram as I tried 2 new tactics. Hey there, if we haven't met yet, my name is Ashlyn Carter, and I have helped thousands of creatives and entrepreneurs make more money with your words as a conversion copywriter and brand and launch strategist. Now, yeah, some writing projects you are going to get the luxury of having thousands of words to be able to state your case and make your point. But like most copywriting projects, not so much with your Instagram bio. You only have room for a few words to really get to make your point and explain who you are. And by a few words, I mean you've got 150 characters. That's it. By the way, I put videos just like this out every single week. Hit subscribe and the bell next to it so you can be in on the loop when I drop the next one. All right, enough chit chat. Let's get to the how-to. Tip number 1, I want you to be able to explain what it is you do in one line and be able to do it so simply that your local 6th grader could understand and make sense of what it is you do. So your Instagram bio is an elevator pitch of sorts, right? Thus, we need to first start with what it is that you do and how you help others, and say that as simply as possible. I will link a video that I've done in the past below where I've explained a little bit more how to draft your elevator pitch and how you're going to want to adjust it based on your audience, because talking to a lot of industry peers is completely different to reminding your family at holiday parties what it is that you do. But hands down, I think we can agree that your Instagram bio is the shortest, remember 150 characters, space that you get to have your elevator pitch out there. You've probably heard me say something like this: I help creative entrepreneurs like you make more money with your words so you can work from a place of more rest, less hustle, something like that. Now that is a part of my elevator pitch. It's kind of a version of it, but do you see how I'm going to say that so much more simply here in my Instagram bio? I've whittled that down to I hook up women with words, which is as tiny as I could get that character count. And what's really interesting about that phrase is it's stuck for years. There's been so many times I've wanted to change it or thought maybe I should, and when I'm thinking that, either somebody will say it back to me or introduce me and explain and use that phrase to explain what I do. It's weird how that happens, but I also feel like that's the ultimate compliment with an elevator pitch. If somebody can parrot it, somebody else that doesn't work for your business, is not affiliated with your business, if they can say it, then yes, they get it. It was so easy, it was so simple that it stuck. I heard my friend Tyler McCall say at Social Media Marketing World this year that all social media marketing has done is put a megaphone up to what was already there, word of mouth marketing. That's why I keep landing on that. I want you to get this so simple that you could say it out loud with your mouth to a 6th grader and they would be like, okay, I kind of understand what it is they do. Going in to edit your Instagram bio is pretty easy. I'll show you how to do that here. I have my profile open, and I mean, big surprise, I'm gonna go and click open, edit profile, and here in this bio spot is where I can actually change up the copy and play with it. Now, I actually never like to write or update my Instagram caption in that spot. I wanna turn the camera around and show you the tool that I use. It's actually wordcounter.net. I don't even write it in Instagram.com on a desktop, and here's why. This website I use for a lot of different copywriting purposes in my business, but you can see right here how we can quickly look and see how the character count is adding up, and we can add and remove things right here. So here's where I'm going to draft a few versions of my elevator pitch. It's kind of to like a magician taking those magical scarves out of a hat or whatever until they get to the bunny. This is going to take multiple efforts. You're not going to get it first round, first, second, draft, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, so on and so forth. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some playing with, and you'll eventually whittle it down. So stick with it. You can do this. Also, for purposes of the platform itself, I would recommend not using any jargon. I think there's a time and a place for certain jargon because that can be something that attracts or repels the right kind of people that you want to work with if you're super specific or serve a very specific niche. But again, for purposes of the platform and just being out there for so many people to land upon your profile, I would recommend nixing the jargon. Okay, comment below. I would love to be your guinea pig. Can you let me know your elevator pitch or try out your Instagram bio ready elevator pitch? For me, see if I can understand what it is that you do. Truly, I mean it. Go ahead, comment that below, and let me see if I can figure out kind of what you do. Step number 2, we're going to put in the right words for SEO purposes and lean on those to continue to get your point across and what it is you do. So let's flesh out your bio a little bit more practically by leaning on primary and secondary keywords. Yes, like the type of keywords that you're considering as you're drafting your website copy. So your primary keyword is going to be the keyword that you would want to show up for, or you most closely associate with what it is you do. Let me show you an example of this. So here I am in the app. You can already see how Instagram is coming up and going ahead and auto-filling words, because we can use this as a search engine now, which is great. But let's try this and see what comes up. Atlanta makeup artist, and you'll see, love it. So there's so many women. That's awesome. Way to go, all you people that popped up. This will help me as I search through and look for different people that I may want to work with. So HubSpot recommends putting your primary keyword both in your display name as well as in your handle. I actually just recommend your display name. I understand the sentiment, and I think if you're just getting started there, it would be great to put it in your display name and your handle, but a lot of us we want to keep our handle the same across platforms, and that's what I choose to do. So Ashlyn Copywriter wasn't necessarily what I wanted to pick when I went on the app. I also think you need to keep that in mind as you may pivot over the years, but definitely put it in your display name. Then I'm going to sprinkle in my secondary keyword throughout my bio. So we've got that elevator pitch portion in, and now let's slide in a couple of your secondary keywords. All right, so one more time, I'm going to come up to my bio and click edit profile just for purposes of showing you here on the app. When you are changing your name and adding in those primary keywords there, keep in mind you can only change your name, I think it's 2 times every 14 days. So don't go crazy, get really firm about what you want and then pull it in there. And then for your bio, you can update that so much more often. But some phrases here that I want, launch strategist, copy tutorials, so on and so forth. Again, I searched earlier for, I think, French country or antiques in Atlanta just to see what comes up, and a lot of it was good to see that primary or that secondary keyword show up in people's bios. So don't forget, make a little list of your primary, your secondary keywords, and then add those in. Finally, step number 3, you're going to wrap this all up with a nice neat bow and a CTA or a call to action. Now, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here, but I have been testing this hypothesis and working through it since 2017 was when I first decided this and wanted to see if it was true. And I've stuck with it. So yeah, I'm gonna go there. I do not recommend using Linktree or any menu-focused link in your bio. Instead, I am team change up your bio a whole lot. It's a little more work, you can do it. Whatever I am promoting or pushing to is going to be what I have that link in the bio. And if this means changing it multiple times in a week, that's okay. It's pretty easy to do. I actually first wrote about this for Honeybook in 2017, but while it's so natural to think that you're spoiling your follower with a bevy of choices and ways that they can engage with you and new information, the whole point of that CTA, just like when I talk about your website copy, your landing pages, what we want to do is nix that analysis paralysis and give them one single focus or step to take when they land there. So as they're scrolling through Instagram, they've got TV in the background, they've got a million distractions going on, they click on your profile. I don't want them to have to then click on link in bio and open that up, and then they get a whole new menu of different things that they could click on. If you need to do some testing to figure out what hyperlink works best in Instagram for that audience, then do that. Again, worth the work. But it is paramount that you give your reader a single sole step to take and focus them towards that conversion. Otherwise, we're going to risk losing them in transit. Back to that analysis paralysis, I know you know the feeling. So in this step, I want you to clean up your CTA copy and change out that link. And if you need to roll through that different CTA copy in your bio itself, then go for it. And again, test things out. Maybe you want to lead to one of your content hubs, a podcast page, a YouTube channel. Maybe you want to lead directly to a tiny offer or your homepage or a freebie that you offer. If you want a bunch of call to action snippets of copy that you can use, then look down below. I would encourage you to check out my free download of call to action copy snippets. This is full of 41 different arrangements of words that you can use not just for your Instagram bio and captions, but across your website, across your sales pages, and more. Head to ashlynwrites.com/CTA or just look down below. I'll pop the link in there too. And those 2 Instagram bonus strategies I toyed around and played with and liked this year. Number 1, get colorful in your profile pic, and I say this as the queen of my favorite colors are neutral and neutral, but I really think it has benefited me to put a pop of color in there. You can even see what I mean with this. So let's just scroll down and click on something here and open up everybody who's liked it. And immediately you're gonna see people who's like Reese photo pops because she's got that teal going on. We've got Perna, love that coral, this green that Kristen has. Do you see how even just, look, Melody, oh no, Melody Lane Press, Tina, you're doing great there. Do you see how those pop of colors just catch your eye when you're scrolling very quickly? Jenna would know, she teaches Instagram strategy. This just helps, I think, so much, and it's something that I was a little nervous to do, but I swear it just, we had a lot of different things going and promotions going on, so I don't know necessarily the exact number that it led to, but around the time that I did change my profile pic to include that Veuve Clicquot yellow that I use in some of our branding. Christina, look at that pink, that's awesome. I think it helps, I'm keeping it. And tip number 2, adopt a string of emojis and use them to fill in those random 1 or 2 character count spots left in your bio. We know that visual information is relayed at light speed, right? It can be used so quickly to help communicate to somebody what you mean. So use that to your advantage, and then also you have the opportunity to plug in what I've called in the past brand mascots, or any type of emblems or symbols that you want to use and you want people to see and think of your business. There's so many emojis, the likelihood of there being an emoji that communicates that for your business is pretty high. I use these emojis constantly. I use champagne as a visual reference to communicate welcoming someone into your website or being able to celebrate a launch. And so I have used these over and over again. And again, I think it's the ultimate compliment if somebody can say and parrot something back to you. So I have had people, when they'll DM me, they'll use some of those little brand mascot emojis that I use, and it just, yes, that's what I meant. If you liked this video, then let me know by hitting the like button, subscribing, and commenting below helpful or any questions that you may have, or just let me know some of your brand mascot emojis. Make sure you grab that free download of different CTA copy options that you could use and work through. And now you've got your Instagram bio working when you can't or when you're not on the app. How can we make sure that your email copy is doing the same? Then be sure to watch the next video I have teed up for you, where I'm taking you through 3 of my tried and true launch strategies. Here's to working from a place of more rest, less hustle. Thanks as always for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.